Welcome back, everybody, to the Game Haus. Esports, we all love it. We all dig it. That's pretty much why we're all here. And one of the great things about gaming in general is that the barriers to entry are so low. And if you have a console and you have internet access, you can stream. You and some of your friends can get together and form your own org. And while that's fantastic, also, that's right now at least, that is part of the issue that I see. And I have with me today someone from an org in Las Vegas, and I wanted to get his perspective on the whole thing because he's on the ground, he's in the middle of it, and he's in Vegas. So Vegas is about 4 hours from the center of the esports world, which is in Southern California. If you drive from LA east about 4 hours, it's a really nice freeway. I have driven it myself. You will basically land yourself in the middle of the entertainment capital of the world. So in Vegas, you not only have the esports arena, which is on the Strip, very nice to look at. I always recommend people check it out if they get the chance. There's also a esports land center / bar that is on the Strip in the Rio. But I wanted to talk today about orgs and how they differentiate themselves, because I have with me one of the co-owners of the Las Vegas co-owners of the Las Vegas Minigunners. And in Vegas alone, there's a lot going on. You have the esports arena. You have a lot of entertainment possibilities. You have other orgs that base themselves in Las Vegas. So I have with me today one of the co-founders of an org in Las Vegas, and I'm going to let him introduce himself right now, and we'll go from there, sir. So go right ahead.
Yeah, definitely. So for everyone that doesn't know me, my name's Jairo. I am the CEO and founder of the Las Vegas Minigunners alongside my co-owner AJ. I've been in Vegas for maybe 14 to 15 years and been in the esports industry since 2012. So that's kind of my background of who I am.
Very nice. 14 years in Vegas. I remember the first time I was in Las Vegas. It was 2004. I was down there for some softball. This was before this was before the Cosmopolitan was even constructed on the Strip. So when you say you've been in Vegas for 14 years, I'm sure that you've seen a lot going on down there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for basically being raised in Las Vegas, you see a lot of things change. Whether it's esports or whether it's just the city itself, it's a very fun town. It's a very great town to be in, and I can't appreciate much how lovely it is out here.
I do have to say that I would rather be too hot than too cold. That's just my own personal opinion on the weather down there. So you're in Vegas. You're in esports. You've been in it now for 7 years, which is a long time at this point. There are industry veterans and all, but to say that you've been in esports for 7 years and not in Southern California is really interesting. So sort of talk about what you've learned along the way, because right now the industry really has some issues. Really has some issues when it comes to orgs and how they function.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess back in 2012, just being here in Vegas, I used to go home and play a lot of Call of Duty. So that's my background. I love playing Call of Duty. I started sniper teams up. Kind of motivated me to start sniping. It was Phase, Optic, and back in the day, a lot of people don't know, legit. So those three kind of sniping clans when they were up and coming, I really wanted to go into sniping route with Call of Duty. It made me fall in love with it. And after that, I just started doing montages, started owning sniping clans, doing some YouTube. I fell in love with YouTube, learned how to edit, and then I got my first big break in 2012. So Actually, I went to was it AW Call of Duty World Champions for Advanced Warfare in LA, and I absolutely fell in love with it. That was my first event ever. I loved esports, and I was like, "This is what I want to do. I want to be in this industry. How do I get involved?" And I guess and I guess a lot of people will know this name. So Ramon Zephyr from FaZe Clan actually gave me an opportunity as a graphic designer to start up. You know, for him to see a lot of potential in a kid who was 18 years old, 17 years old, to give me a graphic design job for an organization back in the day, Mutiny. It shows a lot of character with them. He gave me a chance to involve with esports. I learned a lot from him and how the management side of things are, how players behave, how other graphic designers are, editors, how the whole esports industry is way different than the day-to-day clan operations of where you're just coming home and playing. When it's esports, you kind of have a set goal in mind and a set job to do. You know, at that time it was unpaid, but I seen the vision. I seen what he wanted to build and where he wanted to go into the industry. So for me is that I got to the point that I really wanted to keep going in esports, and I seen an opportunity arise with Strictly Business and Denial Esports. So Denial actually offered me a job back. This was like a little bit before, maybe right before AW. And I took the job as a graphic designer. I was with, as part of the time, I was with Zuma, which is in FaZe now. I was with other teams such as Erupt, Robbie from Ghost now. So I've been keeping in contact with a lot of people I've known throughout the years. And now, not to get it different, but Robbie, who was also another owner. So there's two different Robbies that worked in Denial Esports, but Robbie, the CEO, and I was learning a lot from him of how the same thing I was learning from Zephyr is the back end of the paperwork, how players work, how graphic designers work, you know, what it takes to be involved in esports, and some of the situations I really didn't like to be a part of. So at that point in time, I was maybe with them for 3 to 4 months with the Now Esports, and I got an opportunity with Strictly Business. And this was actually right after AW. Strictly Business, I just fell in love with their brand at the AW event for World Champions. I got to meet Jeremy. I got to meet Polo, who's one of the owners and founders over there. And I really love the brand. I love the whole color scheme. I loved how they were treating their players, their staff members, the whole 9 yards. And it really got me more involved of what it really takes and how you really do treat a player, and how you treat your streamers. And I just took that opportunity to just build my self brand awareness on my own company. Back in the day was called Royal Flush 7. And the reason I got that name is because I started a sniping clan back in 2012, 2011. And I was running RF7 while still graphic designing for Strictly Business. And it wasn't a cause of conflict at the time until I really got serious. At that point, it was either choosing between graphic designing for Strictly Business and riding that wave, or building my own path and learning the ins and outs of esports as an owner. So I just took the owner route. I took, going into RF7 is that I learned a lot about contracts. I learned a lot about what it takes to keep a player, how sponsors actually work, the difference between affiliates, partnerships, and actual sponsorships. I learned the whole 9 yards of where I wasn't really learning that in Strictly Business or Denial Esports. I didn't learn that at Mutiny as well. It's more of I had to experience it to even go from here. And just this last year in 2018, I wanted to rebrand RF7. I felt like RF7 needed a whole different structure. The name was too long. The colors were all over the place. The logo didn't really match what Vegas seemed like. And I just wanted something to represent Vegas. And I got with Alter Ego. I got with who the design company at the time. And I got with AJ. And I said, I wanted to represent Vegas. What can we do? And they came up with a Vegas star with the Vegas shields, and bullets coming out of it. And I was like, great, this looks great. I love it, but it's missing something. And that's where the colors were. I got huge influenced by the Golden Knights when they came to town. And I love their colors, love where they were about. and I was like, I want my brand to represent what esports is in Vegas, and I want everyone to know that when you're coming to the Las Vegas Minigunners, it's a home for streamers, it's a home for content creators, players, the whole 9 yards, management. We care so much about the esports industry of where we want it to be to the next level. We don't want to be the added org that hurts anyone. We want to be the added org that whoever comes on board, you're taken care of, whether it be a player, streamer, content creator, the whole 9 yards. We always tell the players, we always tell the streamers, and we always tell the content creators, even staff at this point, we tell them if there's a bigger opportunity like a phase, like an optic, and they want you and they contact you, go ahead and take that, because we feel, and we've had numerous of players go above and beyond. I mean, we've had from players from Splice, former Soar, and they used to be part of our brands, who's won championships. They're now, some are part of Digitons, some are still with Soar. I mean, there's a lot of different orgs out there that they're a part of now, and it's great to see that we have that talent to kind of farm these bigger organizations. But right now, like I said, we tell everyone to take the opportunity no matter what it is. And we really want the local scene to come together. We want everyone to know that the Las Vegas Minigunners are here to stay. And we were born and raised here, not like a lot of orgs have been traveling to Vegas and setting shop here in Vegas, but we're the only ones that are in Vegas that's actually stayed here and actually built around Vegas, and we're born and raised in Vegas, and we're just trying to be that esports organization to become the next biggest thing. When you think of esports in Vegas, you think of the Las Vegas Minigunners, from supporting the esports arena to supporting PSG, who's a local brand out here, arcade brand, to even, supporting GameWorks. We want what's best for the local scene.
So there's a lot there to unpack. There's a lot that from where you started to where you are now, there's a lot to unpack there. So you started off with FaZe and you got an opportunity, and I think what people might miss in that, because you only said it one time, is that when you started with FaZe, it wasn't a position where you were paid. However, you took the opportunity to learn from those guys, right?
So it wasn't with FaZe, it was with Mutiny Esports. Okay, but the owner is a manager for FaZe now.
Okay, got it. So you started with an org. It wasn't FaZe, it was somebody else, but you started with them, and you got an opportunity to learn, and you kept learning, and you kept on expanding your skill set, and then you made the decision. You made decisions like, I can go this route that I'm on. I can ride the wave. I can do some good work, or I can do my own thing. So for you, when you were at that point, when you were ready to kind of go, well, I got this and I got this, and I can't do both, I can only do one, what was the one thing for you when you were looking at it and making the decision? What was the one thing that you said, yes, this is it. This is exactly why that I'm going to do this?
I think it was one of the streamers, and I can't remember their names. But it was a couple of the streamers that wanted to join an organization, and they got told no. But I seen a lot of potential in that streamer or those streamers, and I said, I want an organization to give that opportunity to a growing streamer or a potential streamer that can be the next big thing or needs just that family support. I want to do that. So why not give them an opportunity? At that point in time, I said, all right, I'm doing this. Let's build a brand. Let's give the opportunity to people who deserve it and want to work hard in the industry and want to build the brand together and just see the vision.
Okay, so basically you were seeing other potential talent out there that wasn't getting the opportunities, and you're like, I can give these people the opportunities, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So then you're in Vegas, and I heard you say that your focus is definitely local, that you want Vegas to know that you're about Vegas. You love everything that is Vegas. You love the people in Vegas. And I think that's an important thought process, because what the rest of the world sees as Las Vegas is this about maybe 1 mile of a piece of road with all these hotels and all these shops and all this stuff where thing is expensive, not realizing that there's a massive city all around that piece of road full of people who are talented and smart and that want to contribute to where they are. So talk about your local focus, because I don't think a lot of orgs these days, I don't see a lot of orgs these days as doing that.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, for our local focus, we want to make sure that the players here are getting recognized. There's a lot of talent here in Vegas. And we want to make sure, whether they're under our organization or another organization, that they know that there's always a home here in Vegas, and there's always room for that talent to, show its light, I guess you can say. And Las Vegas isn't just another city. It's one of the cities that I feel that needs a lot more spotlight, and we want to do that. And it's not just bringing spotlight on us, it's bringing spotlight, like I said, the whole entire city. Because you have streamers, you have content creators, you have some staff, you have a lot of people out here that basically they don't know where to go in esports. I've run into a lot of cases though where, they will come up to me, some people will come up to me and say, we didn't even know you guys were here in Vegas. Well, that's kind of our fault, because we haven't done a lot of marketing in Vegas. We're right now at the point that we want to focus, like you said, locally, but we want to work with these other companies, or these other event companies like Esports Arena, go to events there, make more of a brand awareness, show people, throw live events if we can with a sponsor, and show people that what esports is, how do you get involved with it, and if you want a home, we offer that for you. And that's kind of our route right now, focusing not just with Esports Arena, but like I said, PSG, who's a local arcade company. There's GameWorks out here. There's the Wall in Vegas, at the Rio. You have Wolf and Lamb. You have a bunch of venues here in Vegas that don't get a lot of support. And we just want to make sure everyone knows that esports is everywhere in Vegas. It's not just one arena. It's everywhere.
It is. I agree. Now, so you're taking this next step. You're creating brand awareness. You have great players and great staff and great content creators. So you, as an org owner, you've seen how things have run on the backside, and now you and your co-founder are like in charge of it all. So with the way things are now and the business model that exists right now, which I'm going to say it's broken. The business model that is esports is falling apart right in front of us. So you have major orgs like Optic. It's being sold, and they can't figure it out in the moment, because one group wants one thing and one group wants another. Then on top of that you have Heco Fox, which is going through all sorts of problems right now. So for you as an org owner, what do you see as the best current way to make your operation work? I mean, you have to have funds to pay your staff, for you to live, for your content creators and your streamers and your teams.
Right. No, definitely. I mean, everything it lies to about is I think the biggest problem is that everyone got so focused on, you have to have money to be successful. And I think at a certain extent that is true, but everyone also has forgotten that the root of esports is gaming and content creation. And a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, they want to play with the big boys and get these investors and get all this capital in the world, and that's great. I get it that the more money you have, the more your brand's going to be out in the spotlight in esports. But I feel that if everyone has the same vision where they want to go, and you have the team to do it with content creation, YouTube, Twitch, and you have the correct sponsors, you can get to a point of where maybe you're not as big as Optic. We get that. You're not as big as Echo Fox or a FaZe Clan, and at that point, FaZe Clan's a whole different beast because they started with content creation. They're selling apparel, and I think the biggest organization that I have my eye on right now, and they're doing it the right way, is 100 Thieves. If you really look at it, yeah, they have that capital from investors, but they also chose the right investors. They're doing it Nate Shot's way. They're doing it where it's not just focusing on esports; they're also focusing on content creation. They're focused on apparels. I mean, there's three different sides of business to esports, I feel, and a lot of companies have forgotten that. I feel they only focus on esports and they focus on the money, where you really have a three-part business to a one whole shop. It's content creation, it's esports, and it's also apparel lines. It's also clothing. You can make a lot of money in three different ways, and I feel like a lot of companies have forgotten about that, and we want to be one of the ones who've done it right. I mean, we've been open for a year and 5 months now, and my previous brand was open for 4 years, so we never went upside down. We're still here and we're still growing little by little, and everyone's got to remember that esports is so young. It's so young, and everyone's trying to with franchising Overwatch, franchising Call of Duty. I just don't feel like all esports need that franchising. I think everyone's trying to grow it too big and too fast. And I get it. Everyone's interested in the scene of where they're trying to compete with sports. They're trying to sell merchandise like the original sports do. But everyone also forgets the roots of esports, roots of gaming, and the roots of you can still succeed with not having all the money in the world. And that's basically our model of things, is that you can succeed while having all the money in the world. I mean, we started with $80 with a logo, and little by little, it's like we've grown. I think our name speaks for itself. We're attracting sponsors like G Fuel, Asus, Playvig. I mean, we've had in contacts with a lot of bigger companies where, with our size, you're just looking and saying, "Wow!" From an outside perspective, like, how does a company so small have these meetings with these bigger companies or these investors, or how do you get those sponsors like Asus and G Fuel? And you gotta have the passion for it. You have to have the vision for esports and have the passion. That's what it comes down to. If you don't have the passion to grow esports, you're never gonna make it. If your passion for esports is, I want to make the most money as quick as possible, or just make the most money whenever as possible, you're never going to succeed in esports. You're always going to be looking for another investor. You're always going to be trying to raise more capital, and you're going to go upside down. I mean,
right.
For me, I would never want to lose my branding to an investor. It's just, I would hate to lose the fact that I couldn't control Minigunners and see it throughout the vision that I plan on it for the next upcoming years. I'd rather take an investor who knows and is passionate about esports and take a less percentage, and then take a higher percent, or take more money than in a higher percentage. I feel like if I had the budget of maybe $100, example, for every single month, or an investor will take 49% for millions of dollars, whatever the case may be, I will take that $100 in a heartbeat, because I would not want to someone try to control the Minigunner brand and just see the money in it. I don't want that. I want everyone to know that we aren't here for the money. We aren't here to make money. We're here to help the space and grow with the space.
Okay, that's awesome. I love your thought process. It's one of those things where we don't do it necessarily for the money, but if we didn't have the money somewhat involved, we probably wouldn't do it, right?
I mean, yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business, right? And a business does need you need to get money from a business. I mean, we want to do this full time. I want to do this. I'm kind of doing it full time, I guess you could say. But I don't just look at that. Like, I look at that. I want to make sure from my staff to my graphic designers to my editors, the whole 9 yards. I want to make sure that everyone in the organization is doing this 100% full time, because that's what everyone's dreams are. Everyone in the organization now, their vision is that I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to be a streamer. I want to be a content creator. Whatever your goal is, you want to work in esports for the rest of your life. We want to make sure that's possible for anyone who joins the brand. And I much rather have someone go up in the streets and ask me, oh, I know that I recognize that Minigunner logo. I love the Minigunner brand name. Instead of someone recognize me as Gilyphix or Jairo, I much rather someone recognize the logo than myself at any point.
Got it. That's okay. Great. Now with you have this great brand, you have a great staff. So going forward right now in Las Vegas, short term, medium term. Now, what are your plans right now?
A lot of our plans going forward, we've been in talks with a lot of sports companies that are coming out here or already are here about getting into the esports space. Like you have, you have the Pittsburgh Knights with the Steelers. You have Complexity, who just did a whole entire rebrand with the Cowboys. So we're trying to get that fan base of where we want the sports scene, and we also want them. We want to show them what esports is, but vice versa. We want to show esports, the community, what sports is. I mean, a lot of people know what sports is, but how heavily involved is your fan base in sports? You know, someone might not go watch a hockey game unless that team is attached to it, and vice versa. And especially here in Vegas, we plan on going to more local events with our community manager. She'll be attending, whether it be Comic Cons, whether it be cross plays events, the whole 9 yards. Evo's coming out here.
Yep.
So she plans on attacking all those while everyone else is attacking somewhere else. Like we have MLG Anaheim that the Minigunners will be attended with. We won't have a team per se, but we'll have definitely a lot of content creators. I'll be there. While we're doing that, she'll be attacking a local cosplay event here in Vegas. So we have a lot of things going on. If it's not just in Vegas, it's in LA, it's in North Carolina, where my co-owner lives, my general manager lives. It's everywhere, in the States. We have members across the States, and they see the vision. There's an esports arena, and I believe somewhere in Minnesota.
Right.
So it's a lot of things. It's just growing Las Vegas branding here in Vegas, but also growing everywhere in the States.
Very nice. Oh, it sounds to me like that you have the right plan. You've learned from, I guess, from the often rocky past that is gaming and esports. I'm sure you've seen some of these things that have gone down, some of the scandals, and also some of the good stuff. You've seen them firsthand. You've had a great front row seat for some of this. So that's fantastic. I'm glad that gaming and esports in Vegas has a person like you, because you understand that the local scene matters, and you have an excellent opportunity with all of the people that are in and out of Las Vegas on a weekly basis, and all the events and everything that goes down in Vegas. I can see that you have a really good opportunity to build a brand, a solid foundation for the brand, and have a great squad of people around you. So for making time for me today, I really appreciate it. As we shut this down, is there anything that you want to promote?
Just first and foremost, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity, Bill. It helps us share our story and where we're headed, and to promote, make sure you guys can definitely go follow the Minigunners on twitter.com/Minigunners, or all our social medias, which is Minigunners. To the Las Vegas peeps that are listening to this, I love y'all. Thank you so much for supporting us, and everyone else, the Arsenal, our fan base. Thank you guys for supporting us. We're here to stay.
Awesome. I will make sure that all of those links are in the description. And everybody, thank you for listening. If you like this interview and the other content that we have on the Game Haus YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, and share. And as far as stopping by, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.